Yes, good night. It's Thursday night and it's time for Sports Wrap, the most popular sports program in Dominica. I'm Lockhart Sebastian. Together with me is
Dr. Thompson Fontaine
and Emmanuel Loblack.
Yes, so as usual, Pastor Rodney, you have to lead us in prayer. Let's go. Good night.
Father, I thank you for today. I'm grateful for a great day that you have given us. We are glad, Lord, that you have given us your mercy and you have allowed us to be here in the land of the living. Thank you for protecting us. Thank you for sheltering us. Thank you for providing for us. And thank you, Father God, that you've always been on our side all the time. Tonight, I pray for this program and I ask, Lord, that every listener, oh God, will grow. Every listener will learn. Every listener, Father God, will be informed and every listener will be entertained. But importantly, Lord, I ask that even as every person listens, that you will give wisdom to the hosts. You'll give wisdom to those who are sharing the information. And you will cause, Father God, that everything will go in the order that you are designing it. That the host will speak the truth, they will speak honestly, they will speak their heart, they will share information without bias. And Father God, the listening public will be educated from sports perspective, they'll be educated from a national perspective, they'll be educated from an economic perspective, Father God, and our lives will be better for it. Bless this program together as you use the hosts and the listeners to enhance society, we pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now is the time to move forward. Now that the reach your best friend is now for everyone to think this year. But I know to let God carry that time. Yes, I know too late, brothers. Carry that time. Yes, I know too late, boys. Carry that time. Yes, I know too late, sister. Carry that time. Oh, yeah. Yeah. More than like this. Don't you get my soul into everything. No, I need to go back on it.
Yes. Shelby says, too late. Too late shall be the cry. And, all of a sudden we hear the suspending CBI passport to Iranians. So Shelby said, too late shall be the cry. Anyway, tonight we're going to be speaking to there's a lot of athletics in the air now. So we're going to be speaking to the president. He'll join us early because there's the character game. We have local athletics. We'll speak to Godwin Dossett at some point about what happened yesterday and today. The coach in Dominican Republic, the national coach, will speak to him as well from Dominican Republic. The volleyball people will join us in studio and we'll speak a little about cricket because, we're going to be bombarded for 2 months with the IPL. It starts on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Kohli's team, the defending champions, playing the Sunrisers. So 9 or 10 o'clock Saturday morning, and the IPL, it goes every day till the 20th of May. We're going to be
And
bombarded.
nothing has happened. No,
Nothing happens. Well, the regional cricket starts on the 12th, but nothing internationally happens except the IPL. Every single day, a game, and on weekends, 2 games. So we're going to be bombarded with that. We just had the World Cup for a whole month, and now we're going to have this for 2 months. Right. Dr. Fountain, I want to address you because we have to discuss the Iranian war on the effects of but there's something I want to address you in. Last Saturday night in the meeting at Layo, a lot of the speakers they spoke about telling people to go and get confirmed and that sort of thing. I have no issue with that. But I will say again, if Chubby Dot said in song, too late shall be the cry. We don't want to be left behind. You have 6 months. October is the deadline, the closing date for reconfirmation. I would suggest to you again, I'm making a plea to you, in every constituency, have a committee of about like 10 people so that they can go through the whole list. Because, Dr. Fountain, I am sure it's nice to have meetings, nice to have meetings and that sort of thing. Good, have people together. But you need people to vote. If people don't get confirmed. So what I'm saying, every constituency, you identify people, let them go through the list. You can call people who haven't confirmed yet. Please ask them to go. Because nice to say that in a platform, but it's better to get people to go out there and bring the people to go and confirm. Because you don't want when October comes and the list is checked and 3/4 of the people at the list belong to one party. And it's something I'm saying to you that's important, and I hope the other party members are listening because people need to get confirmed. It's not easy, as I said, easy to say that. But because without people registered and without candidates too, you don't have things. And why not candidates, And I want to say, I'm going to say it, people might get vexed with me, Lobby, Dr. Fountain. This thing about opposition within the opposition need to stop. It's about time people get their act together. Because, I will lie you that former candidates, you don't see them, you don't hear them. And it is a pain for a lot of people. It irks people that thing can continue. Because, Lobby, you were in a club. If you have a cricket team, and then you playing, they elect a new captain, you're going to leave your team? You can't do that. And what I have found then, a lot of these people, they need to stop it. And I'm saying there needs to be dialogue on both sides, your side, Dr. Fountain, their side, to get this thing sorted out. Because it is paining people. A lot of people, when I say paining, P-A-I-N-I-N-G, a lot of people are hurt by that. Some people have decided they just don't want to be part of it. They don't want to be part of it. They lobby, and it is wrong. And there are a lot of people who call you stalwarts of, I'm not talking about candidates, but supporters. And some of them have joined the gang. And you don't hear them. You don't hear them at all, Lobby. You don't hear them. Yes, Lobby.
Oh, can I say something?
Go ahead.
What I've been saying. The first point you made there, I concur with you in terms of reconfirmation. Is very and you have to strategize. Number one, said the ground is very important. Very, very, very important. I agree. What you have said there, 1,000,000%. That is key. That is key. What you have said to get a group and go to. You have to do that. The second thing you said there, Sebastian, as I have said already. All right, that the godfather of the party, that is Edison James. I could recall, he was saying, I've said so already, that election is a dynamic process. It's dynamic. If it's one candidate, it's okay. But when you have more than one candidate, the person who win might not be your favorite. But if you are committed to the group, to the association, to the party, you have to give full support to the person who is elected.
Yes, I don't know. Lobby, let us take this caller. 1 minute, Lobby. Let's take the caller. Yeah. Good evening.
Ibo, good night.
Good night.
Good night, Lobby. Sibo, a special good night to you. You are talking to, yeah?
All right.
Because me and you on the same level. What I go and say, some people might get vexed. You might get a little vexed too. Listen to me. So I'm not insulting nobody and I'm not in politics, sir. I give my views because now I just telling you I seen it. Dr. Fountain is a joke. Listen to what I tell you.
No. I don't agree with that. You should say it's a joke. Why? Okay, why would you say that? Okay, let me listen to you.
You know the reason why I say that? Because now, all they just want to pull up now and they're saying about they don't have this to help nobody to register and this and that, and other people will call them at the back and tell them about this and that person. And when the time come now, it's the same people they will need to come. Girl, guess what? In election call now, we need change. We're the alternative. If Kerry call election tonight, he must win. You know why? Because they're going out of their way to help their people.
Sibo, let me just say this.
Okay, let me address you. Hold on, scholar. Go ahead.
This gentleman is saying that because they asked me to get a passport for him, and I told him no. And that's what it is.
Okay.
You know, I mean, come on.
Well, in fact, to see what I know my business here, bye-bye. Let Dr.
Okay, all right, okay, yeah. All right. No, but you see...
Because I was trying to tell him that, you know, that I have my constituents to take care of, that I will see what I can do with where he's running. I will speak to the candidate and see how we can help. Because we are trying to see how that, and that was before the thing was, we are trying to see how we can help individuals, you know, that cannot make it, right? But that is a gentleman that I have already expended hundreds of dollars on previously. And I was telling him that, you know, I mean, come on, there must be a limit. I am not able to help you at this time because I'm trying to help some people in my constituency with the passport. So that is why he's saying this.
Well, you see, people have to be, as I said, if you can help somebody, but not every time you have to go out there and think. If you can do it. So, but the point I am making, if we are becoming, there are some people that can pay their $20 now. That's a birth paper and go and register. So all you need to do is get these committees and every constituency, identify people on the voter list, people who haven't registered yet, get them to go and reconfirm. Lobby.
Yes, let me just finish. Yes, let me just finish this because you know this is a recurring decimal. This second point you made there about people not showing up. And other, that is just stupidity, total stupidity. If people have, you don't need a master's, you don't need a bachelor, you need this common sense. If you're in an association, you're in a group, you're in a party, if there's an election, you have more than one candidate, the person you might support B and A end up winning. You might support A, B end up winning. At the end of the day, if you are committed to the party, you will, follow. You will go ahead with the winner. But this thing about staying away doesn't make any sense. That to me doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, listen to me. You have played. Both of us have played plenty sports. Plenty sports. You may not like the candidate, but at the end of the day, you want your team to win.
Yeah, the captain is the captain, yes. So you have to get together. And it's annoying, eh? It is really. Hold on, Lobby, there's a caller there. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Sebastian. How are you?
I'm good and good. Yeah.
And Dr. Fountain, good evening. And
yes, good evening.
Suro,
yeah.
Last week you said something, and I want to tell you I back to zero on what you said, you know. But I'm also agreeing with you and Nubi that we had picking a new captain, and the other captain should follow Sibo.
Yes.
Sibo, I can remember hearing a particular leader of UWPC. The party was not bequeathed to him by his mother or father, and now he's silent. And this is itching me in places I cannot even scratch. That person is somebody who I know is very influential, and he's keeping his silence. And for what? You will not bequeath the party. You wanted whoever else as the leader. Nobody voted that. The people didn't vote that person. It's the majority. Well, come on in line and follow. Let us go. So I say now, I regretted voting. You know, all those days that they were in the leadership of the party, because they're making it look like other people do not know what they want. Come on, I need these people who are at the back there to come out and start talking. You know, it's troubling me now.
It's troubling a lot of people. A lot of people it's troubling. A lot.
Yes. And people, one more thing. Mr. Capitole came to P95 today to defend whoever it is about the stones and so on. And then when the pressure got a little too much from Matt, because Matt was wicked, put a lot of pressure on Mr. Capitole. Because he was pressured as burst pipe. Imagine Mr. Capitole going on the step and his pipe leaking.
Okay, we have another caller. Good evening. Good evening.
Yes, Sibo. And let me support this last caller. Let me say something. When they were leader, everybody supported them. Right now, somebody else is leader. You saying that nobody here, your voice, nobody did. That is nonsense.
Yeah, rubbish. Utter rubbish. Rubbish.
Thank
honestly.
you.
Yeah.
Hold
on, Lobby. All the lights going.
Yeah,
good evening.
Yeah.
Sibo,
Yeah.
we have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, but let's not be okay.
Listen to me.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Listen to me, Sibo. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you that each vote is important. Not so when people agree, they does not in that they won't change, they won't vote for the other party, but they will not think that Dr. Fountain and them running people away from them. Let me tell you why I'm telling you that. He's telling you one side of the story. On the ground ID, he can never be more on ground and more strict than me. He doesn't be where I does be on no block and no ghetto. Them make two pictures is nothing. I the original man, I know the carbon copy. Lennox and them was saying all that thing. When it was Grand 4, I pull up and the kind of people, either for confidentiality reasons I wouldn't say. The people I are talking, I even hail and surprised. When a person say, boy, you don't see old school Ron Green come there and Clemo, we are Edison James, we are Lennox, we are the Christian man that playing the Holy Danny Luge and Hector John. You don't see them man mad because of Pastor Rodney and this and that. I not always we say them things because I not work a thing because it's vex they do vex and people telling them things.
Okay.
All I telling you, if they don't put their house in order in election call, no, they can never win. Bye-bye.
Sibo,
Wait, so hold on, Lobby. Hold on. Good evening. The lights going, Lobby. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes?
Let me say something to you all. We are Dominicans. We want to save this country and kill the country very, very much. Anyone who do like something, they are money hunters. They are money hunters. The party I'm going to go diamond trying to help Dominicans to come up on just behind right now. Probably all knows about this, by this. And we cannot get money. We have to help to build the country. That's all about it.
Yeah, Lobby. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Sebastian, my final point, Sebastian. You could remember when Edison came back as the leader of the party in Lagon? Remember when he came back as the leader? What happened to didn't the people rally? Some people were not happy at all. They were not happy at all. But people said it is my party. People came and they rally behind him. So what is the problem now? What is the problem right now?
In a lobby, both people need to get together, have dialogue. There's no need for people to be staying away. That makes no sense. That's rubbish. It's about 10 people, men and women, and get together and thrash out whatever it is. And because, Saturday I was in Lion, I saw Stalwart of the party came there, refused to speak. What's the point? You come there, go on the platform and speak, man. That's nonsense. And I don't care anybody says rubbish. Do we have a call on the phone? Good evening.
But yes, Sibo, you're talking about this rubbish, and I agree with rubbish, but we don't even have rubbish.
Sibo, last point, Sebastian, on the opposition. This I find to myself as is undermining. You cannot be, I know for sure, if you want to talking about you want to a joint thing, first of all, you have to look at if A is stronger than you have B and A is stronger than B. You have to sit down again and say, okay, we'll contest 13, maybe you contest 9. But you cannot go and behind the person's back and doing these things at all. That to me is undermining them party. I like it at all.
Yeah. Another caller, good evening.
Good evening, Sibo.
Good evening.
You go for a party that have a goal to face, to be fighting internally like that, Sibo. That doesn't good for the party.
No.
Just fellas to me, just fellas like you're trying to burn down our house to kill her.
How much sense that making?
What I'm saying to them now tonight, I hope they listen to me. It's about them to get together. I'm saying, look, everybody, them to get together.
You have to support.
Everybody, them together. Everybody.
Yeah, man,
Everybody get together. So let's finish that. Go. They have meeting. Everybody shut up. Come and speak. Let me hear you all. We have another caller. Good evening.
Hey, good evening, Sibo, to you and your listeners.
Yeah, good evening.
Sibo, I've been listening for years. I heard Leonard Livingston, a lot of the former UOP leaders educate so-called Dominicans, right? Now, if I'm correct, everything I'm hearing Dominicans and everything they're going through right now, if it's that bad and you still choose Dominican Labour Party, then you deserve to be where you are right now. So, come on, how much more education and stuff you need? You guys are experiencing the worst of the worst right now, and you still saying you're going to vote Labour? Well, you guys are stupid. That's all I can say. There's no need for Dr. Thompson to go out there and try to change their minds anymore. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah. Next caller, good evening. Hello. Hello.
Good evening. I want to make a contribution.
Yeah.
What I have noticed, I can recall UWP has been going for other problems since before the appearance of Mr. Dr. Thompson Fountain, because we can recall when Mr. James was in favor of Mr. Williams to replace him as the leader of the party, and then Mr. Timothy swayed to the other side, because Mr. Timothy finding that he was much more eligible to be the one replacing Mr. James as a leader. So that caused a problem. Now, I don't know what is the reason for such variance within them, but I suspect it could have been when Dr. Johnson Fountain decided to go at Sam Raphael's place and do that event. When Sam Raphael said things that really hurt the United Workers' Party in terms of get money for them and all of the things. So there is something that is, we are all human and we are sensitive towards things that hurt us. But now is not the time for the United Workers' Party to be divided. I think now is the right time. They should come together as one unit and to see how can they eject this actual regime which is in government as we speak. So as long as they are unable to solve their problems, they will be unable to lead the country. So those who are unable to compromise, let them remain outside and find new elements that will enable the party to be an effective party, to enable Dominicans to enjoy life in Dominica. If the leaders are not cooperating and each of them wants to see each other, they want to be in power, they don't like one and all those things there, they cannot perform intelligently for the benefit of the people. So this is my observation that I'm making. I hope it really touches the hearts of people outside there. If they are unable to compromise, those who have agreed to remain outside, they should remain outside. And all will go well. So there's a supporter that have to take a decision to know who are they going to vote for. And that is just that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next caller. Good evening. Hello. The people are not paying attention.
You're listening to them.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hello. Go ahead. Stop listening to your radio. Make your point. Good evening. So that person listening to the radio. Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yes. So I wanted to make a quick point on the confirmation process because that's very important. We've been on the ground, irrespective of all the conversations going around. We're doing what we have to do as a party. And one of the things that I'm finding, I'm very much surprised of, is the number of people who are saying that they are not going to confirm. We are going to have a very serious problem with that. And for some people, it's not even the inconvenience, it's just a matter of they want nothing to do with that process. And that, I think, is a very serious.
Let's take the call. Okay. Good evening. Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I wanted to say that all of this fractionalization that everybody has nowadays is one set of people supporting this one person, the other set of people supporting this other person. If we cannot just hold the best interest of our country in mind, we're all going to end up in the trash can.
I agree.
All of us.
I agree.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it is a problem, Dr. Fontaine. But like I say, if you do not get reconfirmed, you cannot vote.
Cannot vote. That's what we have to keep telling them.
You'll be of no use.
Yes.
You'll be of no use. Good evening. Good evening. Hello.
Caller, go ahead, please.
Yeah, but what the people have to understand,
Let's
the
take this.
other side are getting their people confirmed. So if they do not go, they'll be hurting their own party. They have to understand that. Good evening.
Hello, Sibo. Good evening, and everybody else on this.
How are you, lady? How are you?
Those little topics, I love them. I don't take no part. When I was doing my public administration, we did some political science, so I'm not foolish. What I want to say, I mean, we have to be Matthew, you understand? But another thing, what people have to understand, if you don't go and confirm, you will not be on the list. Now, when election comes, whoever wins, so what you get, you will take. No, that's not. If you don't go, if you don't confirm, you cannot vote.
Right.
Now, regardless which party come in, if you want to take that party or that party and you didn't vote, so whatever you get, see what you have to take.
Yes.
It's like when you go to a meeting, you have a quorum. You don't go to the meeting, you understand? When they take the decision, what they say, you have to go along,
Totally agree.
jump through. So if you don't go and vote, whichever government you get, what you get, you have to take.
Yes,
okay?
I agree. So people must go and get confirmed. I understand how some people think the process is wrong. There should be re-registration, but that's what you have. So people must go and get confirmed. Good evening. Good evening.
And the problem of the fight is that that is what we have to remember.
Agree. Totally agree. Totally agree. Another caller, all the lights going. Good evening.
Good evening, Sibo.
Yeah.
And good evening, Lobby and Dr. Fountain.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
Sibo, this is a very, very, very serious topic you bring up, and I'm glad you do that, because it's time for this thing to flush out. We cannot go into a campaign with that problem. You understand?
Yeah.
And me myself, I just feel like crying, Sibo. That's how bad it hurting. But I want to tell Dr. Thompson Fountain, he have my support. But as leader, to me, that's my opinion. It depends on he now, because he's the leader. He got to make that move and bring the party together. Whatever the problem is, because see, boy, I suspect it have a bigger problem than what we don't see. I don't know, because I'm not on the ground. I'm not even in Dominica. But to me, something bigger than what we think happening. And I'm telling Dr. Fountain, as party leader, he needs to reach out to every opposition, whether it's in or out or on the side or behind, and try to solve that problem. Try to come to a conclusion. I call in on Edison James, Ron Green, Early, all the elders of the party, because that's a serious thing and it's hurting the party and it's hurting Dominica.
Thank you, caller.
Continue like that, brother.
Okay, on that note,
we cannot stand.
Thank you. On that note, we're going to take our first ad break. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Where in Roseau, you can just walk in and order all your chicken parts wholesale, and you can enjoy retail. It's at AC Shillingford. All chicken parts available that you can afford. Fresh breast, and you know breast is best. Shillingford wings have muscle. After you eat it, you can fly. As for Shillingford chicken drumsticks, even swinging stars just order drumsticks from Shillingford. And for those of you who love Risapul, AC Shillingford keeps your belly full. Buy your chicken wholesale at AC Shillingford. From wings to thighs to drums to breasts to backs to necks, it's available. It's always available and it's affordable. Plus, you've got pork feet, ham and turkey, bull foot, chicken nuggets, pepperoni, all those right seasonings to make your kitchen keep on ticking. Buy your wholesale chicken at AC Shillingford. When you think of chicken, think of AC Shillingford. Always ready.
The economic fabric of Dominica revolves at AC Shillingford and Company. For timeless, trusted, dependable, comprehensive insurance coverage, it has to be New India Insurance. Need anything overseas? Shopbox Dominica Isle of Freight is your advance on-time delivery right to your doorstep. For super savings on all your groceries, come to ACS Super Shopping Center for laundry, groceries, cooking, beverages, and event supplies on King Jonathan Street. ACS 7-Eleven on High Street, supplying your everyday essentials. Fill up your vehicle gas tanks, get your cooking gas, and top-ups of all kinds. Or go to 7-Eleven Portersville, where the best-kept secret is conveniently located upstairs in the confidential escape or staycation self-contained accommodations at the Porter's Place. AC Shillingford, where you spend less and get more.
When you want the leg, what you do? Shop at SDA. Better than the rest. Go shop at SDA. And they all compare. Shop at SDA. You get more for what they say. Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Yeah, shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. What they say. Shop at SDA. Yes, family, customer friendly. With free locations, it's so convenient. And our prices. That's where you belong. Oh, tell your mama, tell your papa, shop at SDA. Tell your son and your daughter, shop at SDA. Auntie, nene, and cousin, friend, hope and power, all of them. Grandma, grandpa, couple, neighbor, girlfriend, boyfriend, side. What? Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Check us out at Portersville, High Street, and downtown Rose.
Some laundry detergents may miss the mark when it comes to adding softness to your loads. But fortunately, in Dominica, we've got Ensueno fabric softener. Ensueno is the conditioner of laundry care, making your clothes feel butterfly soft. Discover Ensueno fabric softener. Long-lasting, nature-inspired fragrances protect your fabrics. Revitalize your laundry with the refreshing scent of spring fresh Ensueno fabric softener. Makes your clothes fluffy, alive, and vibrant. Love all over Dominica. Local agents, AC Shillingford Company. Available at all supermarkets, your favorite friendly neighborhood outlet, or shop. Use Ensueno.
Looking for a quiet, relaxing place to stay? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Leaving the office late and need somewhere close to town? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Have business clients coming in and need accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Looking for group accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Located at 37 Goodwill Road in Portersville, upstairs ACS Supermarket. Enjoy our semi-self-contained rooms with private washroom, bathroom, Wi-Fi, air condition, cable network, mini refrigerator, all in a non-smoking environment. Call or WhatsApp at 1767-275-1899 or email us at info@portersplaceguesthouse.com to make your reservations. Porter's Place, your home away from home. Fit for a king, a queen, and all their royal subjects.
Yes, we're back, and we're going to be talking athletics because athletics is in the air, and we have with us the president of the Athletics Association, Mr. Brendan Williams. Good night, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Sebastian, Mr. Fountain, and Mr. Loveless. Good night, and also the rest of the listening public on Q95.
Right, let's get straight to it, Mr. President. I heard a big announcement today on the news that you all have a big sponsor. Adidas, this is a big firm, eh?
Yeah.
Adidas, you want to tell listeners about it?
Yeah, so officially the Dominica Athletics Association will be sponsored by Adidas, the global footwear giant. From this day forward, it is basically, it demonstrates that, you know, big companies or international companies see the work that we're doing from the Dominica Athletics Association, and is also based on the performances of our athletes over the past couple of years. We also demonstrated to Adidas that we have a string of young up-and-coming athletes who will be able to emulate Thea Lafort's global reign. So we have athletes such as Karel Etienne, who ran 11.42 last night. We had Denick Luke, who recently broke the national hurdles record with 48-37. Also that time would have been a gold medal at the last Commonwealth Games. And I know it's early in the season, but it's currently ranked second in the world in hurdles. We have Addison James, who recently qualified for World Juniors as well. So we have two athletes, first time in history of Dominica in the same games to have two athletes qualified for World Juniors. And we still see the possibility of at least one or two other athletes qualifying. We have Trennis Hamilton, our recent Pan Am Junior medalist. So it demonstrates that not only Tia, but we have some athletes coming up. So it is not only equipment, podium uniform, competition uniform, and off-pitch uniform, which we call casual uniform, shoes, bags, hats, and the work. And then we're also looking at Adidas will be sponsoring some of our development programs in the future. So that is some of our grassroots programs and also our talent identification. So we want to look at the sustainability, and that is one thing we demonstrate with Adidas. It's not just, hey, sponsor us now, but the sustainability of the sport to bring in new person into the sport and bring them to the fold to become regional or international stars as well.
Well done. As you talk about Fia Lafont, we just had Fia taking part in the World Indoors, and she didn't do very well. Yeah. Do you think there was a problem? Was she injured or anything?
No, injuries, no. So Thea Lafont admitted that she did not go through her proper recovery phases. And when you say recovery phases, just before the competition, you go through your normal rehab, your massages, things like that. So she did not go through that, and she basically felt the brunt of that. I don't look at the placement. Fifth is fifth, because fifth is she's still top 5 or top 10 in the world. But it's the performance itself.
But 14.3 very low, eh?
14.3 is so that's why I say I look at the performance. Mm-hmm. So she did admit it's below her par. Mm-hmm. However, sometimes no matter how high you are, you always get that little jolt to say, hey, you always have to be on top of your game, and you cannot be complacent. Mm-hmm. So she admitted that, but however, it demonstrates that even on her bad day, she is still fifth in the world.
Nice. Mr. President, I saw a video last week. Grenadiers just had the Intercol games. And I saw a video, the school that won, St. Andrews, there was, I would say, it was like Carnival Day with the signal band in Roseau with about 5,000 people. No, they were celebrating that the school won that championship. It is a big thing, as you know, in Grenada. In Jamaica, currently, we have champs going on, the school games athletics. We have ours in Dominica right now. It should finish by now. And to me, it is not the same thing, what obtains over there and here. What can we do to have the same thing that you see happening in Grenada, where school wins and thousands of people were partying in the street? You swear it was Grenada had won the World Cup in football or something like that. What can we do? I think you were at Portsmouth yesterday.
Yeah, I was.
Tell us, you're the president. What can be done to we can get at the same level?
So it starts with everyone in society. It is person showing interest, and in Dominica we talk a lot. So a lot of persons saying we need to do this, we need to do that, but nobody comes forward to help do it. If you look at Grenada, you have the old boys from the school. They actually contribute to the athletics programs of the school. So they are basically intimate in terms of the success of the schools. That was SAS' first year winning the championships. SAS became the first school to win both boys and girls championship. So Grenville was blocked off for 2 hours straight because persons were celebrating. And like we spoke before, it was basically mass in the place with jab. So it has to show, 1, the proper structures, 2, the school support. Because you having kids coming out from their school to go support their athletes. In terms of also having the training programs, structured training programs within the school. We see that as just another event where they see it as pride of a school. We don't have pride for school. Right now, I see, there's a surge in persons having pride for their houses in school. So if that could translate into, hey, pride for school, support our athletes, have structured coaching programs within the school for athletics. You cannot just say, hey, I'm going to become Picasso if you don't know how to paint. So that is one thing that you have to learn how to do. You have to understand that we have to show the interest. Not just say that we want it to be like that, but we have to show the interest. And if I may go further, I know there was discussion with the sports division of having the athletics meets on a Saturday and Sunday, because a lot of persons were complaining, students missing school to go to athletics, to go to competitions. But when you decide you put it on a weekend, the teachers are complaining. If you put it in the evening, parents are complaining. So there's a mix of, we want this, but are we going to make the right moves to get this?
But something must be done. I mean, something has to be done. Something has to be done, because when I went to school, Low Black Dr. Fountain, that was big, and it was around this time of year. I remember in grammar school in those days, you had houses competing, and it was a big thing, and people were there. So some sort of thing has to be done to change it, because we cannot go on doing the same thing and with the same result. Let him answer, and then Lobby will come in.
So I agree. So I think with the surge in athletics, that's why I see it, because a lot of people are speaking more athletics now. They're seeing the work that the Athletics Association is doing. So I think with the surge of athletics, probably more persons will be more intimate and say, hey, let me go support my school. Let me go support, let's say, sometimes just buying a spike for a kid, because that may prevent the child from going to run because they do not have the proper equipment to run. Yes, we know the Athletics Association has its role, but the role of the Athletics Association is to present teams for regional and international duty, to bring in more persons into the fold, but it's not to support every athlete that comes into the fold to buy new shoes, to buy new spikes. It's like when you buy when you send a child to school, they have to have the proper equipment. They have to have books, they have to have pencils, they have to have their school uniform. But then that is not the same for sports. And I divert to sports on a whole, because that is the problem we have. We're not investing, and we depend on 1-2 people or 1-2 entities such as the government to invest. But then we have local companies, kudos to all those who support. But they have local companies who do not support sports. They only come on board after the fact.
Lobby, 1 minute. Let's take the call and then you. Let's take the call and you. Good evening.
Simo?
Yes?
Me again, I agree with what the gentleman is saying there, Simo, you cannot have sports. Some playing sports and some in school doing their lessons. That doesn't make sense.
It's not fair,
Simo,
you're right.
They should have it on the weekend. Or if you have it during school time, the children in school probably have to go and watch those that have in their sports. I cannot be in sport running and the others in school doing their work, Simo. No.
Yeah, it's wrong. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah, Lobby, go ahead.
Yes, Sebastian. I'm just listening to Brendan, former student of the Dominica Grammar School. Sebastian, I'm talking as a former person involved in years in track and field in Dominica. When track and field, when the Windsor Park was alive. Grammar school was alive in those. First of all, grammar school had their own ground. Let us go back in times. They had their own ground. All right? And what happened to that ground? We all know. The school in itself has gone completely. There's no Windsor Park. And this thing I just said a while ago about, it's something when I was part of the Ministry of Sports, I could not believe, I've said so at meetings, how can we have school sports and the rest of the children, you have school going on? It is total madness. This is total, we were sending the wrong signal that the children who are in the Windsor Park are the Dunscats. All right? Now, Sebastian, when you hear about Grenada, in Grenada, Sebastian, it's a holiday. 2 days holiday, and all schools converge in the stadium.
No, when you say holiday, the country hasn't got a holiday. Eh?
No, the school
takes the holiday, right?
Schools, the secondary schools, Sebastian. Yeah. Everybody have been in Grenada. I've been there already. All right? We have talent in Dominica, a lot of talent in Dominica. And what are the problems we have seen, Sebastian, from the time and when school had their sports day. This was big. We used the Windsor Park. That's the problem. The talent is still there. All right, it is sad. But
Lobby, I don't agree with you that it's because the Windsor Park that people not coming, that the students. I don't agree with you.
Can I talk, please? Can I talk?
No, but you saying something. If you saying something, I think that's wrong. But it's wrong. I don't agree with you.
Sibo, you have been involved in cricket. I have been involved in the sport.
But boss, I want to sport with you. If you what nonsense you talking about, I enjoy cricket. But if you saying something that's wrong, I have to object to you. That it cannot be the Windsor Park that causing that.
Yes, because sports days, when the Windsor Park was available, first of all, we could utilize my club, for example, he was a member of Olympians. We could utilize the Windsor Park 24/7, grammar school ground. You had places where you could train. You could go and, and look at kids, look at SMA with the sports day, grammar school with the sports day. Here, you can look into bringing athletes into your club. But gone are those days. Gone at Windsor Park used to be flooded. You're talking about Greenway. Windsor Park used to be flooded. You could hardly see the track. You could hardly see the track. Gone are those days. It is just ridiculous right now. There's nothing. Praise God, we still have talent in Dominica. We have a lot of talent. If we had facilities, we would have been big as Jamaica. Big as Jamaica. We have a lot of talent in this country. But the problem, Windsor Park gone, there's no place. SMA, convent, grammar school, go back in time to schools. Where can there be a good sports day? Show me a grammar school having a sports day at Lindo Park. Lindo Park, they have to go. They had their own ground. You know that on the where the house matches, you know about that. And I'm sure people can call and encourage me. Where are we training? We have talent, a lot of talent, and this is hurting me, no. The time I gave a lot of time, a lot of time over the years. All right. And I can't believe St. Lucia would have passed me. St. Vincent had their own track. With all about, I never believed that. I thought by now we would have been sitting pretty.
Okay, Manu, let's take this caller. Let's take this caller. Good evening, caller.
Steve-O,
Yes?
I'm going to move on just now. What I'm saying to me, Love Black on a different wavelength. What you were saying, you said you see how Grenadians were celebrating. So what you ask the gentleman is, how can we arrive at that stage?
Exactly.
So it's not Windsor Park.
No, exactly.
Our problem is the students are not going to set something if those that are running. That is the issue. It's not the Windsor Park. So probably it's misunderstanding what we are saying. We are trying to say, how can we get our young people, those in school, to celebrate, be part of it like long ago. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I think, to that question, I think the schools need to get more involved. Because I'll give you an example that I know recently, a very promising young athlete. She was seeking permission from the school to go to one of those weekend meets, and the school refused to sign off on her to go. Wow. And I'm like, why would they not support that? So we need this support all around. And I think the schools have to play a great part. If you're going to have these competitions, you have to give the students off. And you have to tell them you're getting this day off, not to go home and rest, but go home and support your athletes. That's what that's going on. Because that's how we did it, Manu, in the day. All right. You were out there, but you would rest assured that your classmates and others would be out there supporting you. Yeah, and that alone creates the crowd, and then the parents come, and then the friends come.
After you say that, I remember grammar school playing against Saints on a Saturday afternoon, and I was batting, and I remember watching Ezra Darample, Pinochet call him, with a whole set of students, a band, and they're going around the gardens, and that. Listen, I felt like I wanted to bat that day because you're watching the school and guys singing and that schoolboys, and that is what I'm saying. Yeah. How do we get the same athletic? How can we get back to the days? Because to me now, and not only now, even when I was in sports division, a few years before I left, to me there was nothing really going on in athletics. It was like that coming there for 2 days. Yeah. And you, Mr. President, you were in Port Rob yesterday, right? So you can tell listeners what you saw.
Yeah, and also the problem is deep-rooted in not just the support, but even in terms of coaching the kids. Because, let's be honest, as a fan, you'd want to go up to see exceptional performance. But then when you see within the schools, they are not persons who are actually employed to coach. You're not persons who are there it's not physical education.
True.
You understand? So when you look at that, the performances are also not up to there. But then the athletes who excel are those who are part of club structures. You understand? So then you'll see a few standout performances. So for example, all the athletes who broke record over the past couple of days, like Daniel Thomas, Jeriah Lewis, there's others, but I heard one of my records got broken today. But all the records that got broken, I think is either Karima or one of the twins that broke the record.
Wow.
All the records that got broken were from athletes from clubs.
Okay.
So it shows it also you have to have club structure, coaching.
Yeah, let's take this caller. Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening.
In my view, all schools to complete, All schools to complete, All school. just to compete, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's
Other National Athletics Day in Dominica. We have not that again.
Well, it's supposed to be like that. What happened yesterday and today? But like I say, you don't get the same thing like before, and that's what I'm asking the president. How do we get it back to the old days? That's why we have to find a way. Let's take the next caller. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Sibo, Dr. Fontaine, Lobby, and good evening to your guests.
Yeah.
Is sports part of the school curriculum?
Well, I know in my days, I'm sure Lobby days, Dr. Fontaine, in Brendan days, it was mandatory. We had to take part. You had 2 sessions for PE. What I know now, after second form, some schools have no PE on the curriculum. Anyway, go ahead, caller.
Yes, I'm referring to presently, not like when we went to school.
Well, that's what I'm saying. No, I don't think after second form they have sports in school. That's what I'm saying. A lot of the schools.
That's one of the problem. Not the problem, but one of the problem. Sports has to be part of the school curriculum. Just like you do maths, you do English, you do whatever. When you go to school, it is compulsory. There's no ifs and buts or maybe. It should be there, and you should be able to participate in sports. Compulsory. I remember there was a guy from India, Cebu, that was working at the Eastern Caribbean Central to set up something for them. And he told me that sports, cricket in particular, the big in cricket is a part of the school curriculum. It's like a subject in school. And he told me their league, their local league is being televised nationally, So that's why we have to get back to that. And like some parents saying, don't get children to play sports, that's nonsense. So you can be telling going to secondary school, even from primary school. You have to say, you guys are talking about secondary school, but even at primary school, when you went to St. Joseph, is playing against Salisbury, playing against Roseau Boys School, Chateau Maho, and so on. And then when you reach to grammar school, that's the same thing. And Lobby, don't forget Wesley High School. You keep mentioning academy, convent, and grammar school. Wesley High School was
Thanks. We have another caller. 1 minute. Good evening, caller. Good.
Yeah,
go ahead.
If I may add, you see, I think we have to have that clear distinction between physical education, which is being taught in schools, and sports. Sports is more of a competitive nature where you go out, and then there's not enough coaches. You have a lot of physical educators employed at schools, but they are not coaches employed at the schools.
You are right on target. Let's take this caller. Good evening. Hello. Yeah, good evening.
Teacher Lupa.
I know it's you.
I want to support Mr. Lublack to a certain extent, but let me tell you what is happening now. Right? I remember very well when I was at the Roseau Boys School, we used to play football on a Saturday, not a school day, a Saturday when they had inter-school games. And the amount of people who are students who used to come and watch the game. I'm not talking about the venue like Windsor Park. What is happening right now, Sibo, is that the young people have diverted into social media. They are not too interested in the local stuff. And as you said, we have to go back to schools and have the children competing. I repeat, competing among other schools. Like in the days of Dorothy Didier, we went to almost all villages and played volleyball. That is what has to happen. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Mr. President, let's go to shift to the Carifta Games now. Yeah. It is next week, right?
Next week.
In Grenada. I believe Dominica probably has the biggest contingent for long term. Tell us about it, Damian.
Yeah, so I can give you a brief synopsis on the Carifta team. We will be having our largest delegation of 15 athletes going. The official team will be announced on Saturday. That will be at the Prevost Cinema because we are having a development program, a workshop for the athletes beforehand. And that program will encompass, safeguarding, anti-doping, how to be an ambassador, how to conduct yourself when you go to the games. It is not all only bringing those qualified for the Carifta, but also athletes who are vying to qualify for other events like the under-18 and under-23, also the Youth Olympics. So if I may, off the top of my head, that go through some of the athletes that we expect to see at the Carifta Games, some who are qualified, and some who may just get the nod because we are bringing in 2 relay teams. So as the first time we're bringing in 2 relay teams, and the 2 relay teams will be a 4x4 mix and also on the 17 4x100 team.
Men or women?
Men.
Men, okay.
Yeah. So we're looking at Addison James, who's the defending Character Games gold medalist in the javelin. We have Curl Etienne, who's going to do the 1. We have Jermichael Tit, the shot put and the discus. We have Zayden Cornelius, who will be doing the javelin. We have Kareem John Baptiste, who will be doing the triple jump. Jariah Lewis, who will be doing the triple jump and the long jump. Sorry, I just get them off my head. We have Kidela Victor, who will be doing the 1 and 2. Akisha Luke, the 1 and 8. We also have Keone Esprit, the 1 and 2. Delani George, the 1 and 2. Omari Caesar, who's also going to be doing the 3,000 meters. I think that's the 13, and also Luke Lamar, who is going to be doing the 400-meter hurdles. And also we're going to have Sharifa.
Is that the first time we have somebody take back in hurdles?
In the Character Games, yes.
Right. Because I never heard anyone from Dominica take back in hurdles, right? Okay.
And we have Miss Sharifa Trocard, who is going to do the 4 and the 800. So out of the names that I called, 2 of them, well, besides Addison and Carell, we know who live in Jamaica at the Edwin Allen High School. Sharifa Trocard and Luke Lamar, they are both based in the US from Dominican parentage. So, for example, Mr. Royston Trocard, Sharifta is his daughter. So she will be making the team.
Okay, I know Royston well. He played for Dominica. Yeah.
So they're actually coming down next week Wednesday to catch the flight to go to Grenada.
Okay.
So these are the 15 qualified, and like I said, the 2 others names will be announced at the launching from 2 p.m. So after the workshop, we have the launching in the afternoon, so we can present the team with their kits. So basically, have that ceremony for them, let them feel, a part of something. Then you just get your uniforms in the back room and say, hey, you're going on. Also, we have Mr. Walson Packett, who is going down as Will Athletics referee. So he'll be one of the 9 officials, top officials who will be officiating the Character Games. And I will be going down in the capacity of organizational delegate.
So who's going to be the coach for the team?
So the coach and the rest of the management team will be disclosed on Saturday.
But you know that. So,
yes.
We don't know that yet, but you know.
Yes, we know that.
Right. Let me ask you then, from what you have seen, how many gold medals do you expect Dominica? You hoping Dominica can get?
It's not medals. Goals.
Gold medal. When I said gold medals,
but I would say medals. I'm very conservative that saying that Dominica, I see no less than 5 medals. For Dominica. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the past performances of the Character Games, or the winning times or the medaling times on distances for Commonwealth Games for Character Games over the past 3 years, our athletes would be in medal contention. So that is why I can say conservatively we could get at least 5 medals, and I'm also looking at least 1 or 2 more World Junior qualifiers. So that is what we're seeing. And like I said, it's conservative. When I said last year that this year I see that we were going to have at least 15 athletes to Character Games, a lot of person questioned that. and I told them, hey, if you are very intimate in the sport, you know the progress of the athletes. And even this year, I can say safely that we can have at least 25 athletes next year. And the reason why I say that, because there are a lot of athletes on the cusp of qualifying. But then we want to ensure that we want to maintain the standard that athletes who go on the Character Game, they deserve their sport. It is not just, hey, I'm doing good, I'm winning in Dominica, so I must go to the Character Games. Because at the end of the day, when you get to Character Games and you have to contend with those that fought fiercely at the intercall at champs, they come up hot. So you have to actually bring your A game. And too many times we used to see Dominica lagging in the back. It's time let's catch up and pass them.
Okay. Well, that's good. Love you. You wanted to ask anything?
Question, Brendan. When Fia represented Dominica at the Character Games, she made an impression from her first Character Games. Are you expecting from the 2 overseas athletes the same thing?
Yes, I am. I'm expecting it because, when you look at their times and the times, like I said, and the times of what comparable to the past 2 editions or 3 editions of the Character Games, they would be not way back in the pack, but they would be in the pack. So
you could say that for example, that you said, yes, in the top, so they can be in the top 3.
Yes.
And that's Lama and
Trocad.
But you find in the hurdles, you find both of them have been competing indoors, right?
Yes.
Right, indoors.
And they in order for Lamar, he had to satisfy his qualification by actually doing one outdoor. So he came down to Martinique, and he when we had the character trials 2 weeks ago. So he came down to Martinique to qualify there. So even though he had the times of surpassing the character games, he had to do it this year.
Okay. Just Sebastian, just to go back on something Sebastian said there, which I wasn't happy about at all. He said when he was in the sports division, he said the sport of track and field, it wasn't going down. It was still alive, Sebastian.
What I said, listen. Let me tell you what I said. When we had sports days, athletics, and there was nobody there, Lobby, and I got back. Nobody was watching it. That's what I was saying.
You had Sebastian. No, for example, we went as far as having the games in the evening. Don't forget that. We went as far as having that. We had the crowd. Yes, the crowd did drop. It did drop. But what I see happening right now, Sebastian, it is first of all, as I said, that the availability of the grounds we had, all right, for example, I'm happy in Portsmouth, that you had Brendan, that the coach there, that is Nabi. I'm very happy that Nabi returned. He's done a wonderful job, because this is an area for a lot of talent. They have their own ground. You have the PSS school there, but the rest of the schools in Roseau, where you had. I will come back to the Windsor Park. I'll come back to it, Sebastian, because first of all right, this was the training ground. Look around. All right, look around. All right, where can you train? Gardens. Where can the talent is there? Yeah. The talent is still there. A lot of talent is there in Dominica. All right, but how do we harness that talent? A lot of talent is there.
Okay. Yes. Okay, Mr. President, we what we want is when you come back, I tell you that we want you to come right in the studio. If a couple of the students with their medals, come right in the studio when you come back from Grenada, because we have to work by time now, so we'll have much more time the next time. So we're telling you now, when you come back from the students, we will be rooting for you all. We hope that a few medals, about time Dominica comes with a few medals. Yeah. And obviously, well, I hope it will be on television this time. Eh?
Yes.
Right.
So one of my roles as organizational delegate is to work with broadcast.
Right.
So we will be announcing the.
What you can do, probably you can message me anytime, give me the times and where we can see it and everything.
No problem.
All right. So when you come back, we have an invitation to come straight back here to tell us. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right, guys, we're going to go straight to football because we have the coach. Thanks, Brendan. Thank you. We have the Dominican football coach and Troy Jules. They're right in the hotel in Dominican Republic. Good night, coach, and Jules. Good night.
Good night. Hey, good night, guys. Good evening. Thanks for
How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you. We're good. Everything's.
Well, the usual suspects here. Dr. Fountain is with me. Low Black is with me as well. Coach, how are things in Dominican Republic? Have you guys settled in?
Yeah. Everything's good. It was a long travel day for us on Tuesday. So we found our feet yesterday, and today was a good day. The guys have settled in well, really well.
Okay. So the training went well. So you all trained today? You trained today, right?
We trained yesterday and we trained today. Yeah. So we've had we managed to get a couple of training sessions in, just to go over the last few bits of details, and we've got a nice facility here with a nice analysis room. So we were able to go through the video and all the things. So we've been well looked after.
So are you ready for what time tomorrow is the game though? What time tomorrow?
Sorry, can we repeat that?
What time tomorrow is the game? What time of day?
3 p.m. 3 p.m. tomorrow.
3 p.m.?
Yes.
Tomorrow against Guyana?
Against Guyana, 3 p.m. tomorrow, yes.
Right.
Where?
They're in Dominican Republic, Lobby. That's where they are.
The game is at 3 p.m. I'm surprised to hear that.
Well,
yeah,
I guess
me and you both. You and me both.
Yes.
Well, he's saying, Lobby, he too is surprised. You too. So, Coach, tell us, what is the formation you're going to be using? Is it 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1? Are you having a different thing from what obtained before, the formation?
Yeah, I think we'll be very fluid in how we want to play. We'll be very fluid in the system. I don't think there'll be, if anybody's to watch it, I don't think there'll be one set system or one set structure. I think football has to be a fluid game, and we'll play in that manner. But I think as well, there'll be some differences to what the guys were playing before. I think that's why it's been really important to get the details on the pitch the last couple of days. Every coach has their own ideas, has their own methods, philosophies, and I think mine's is probably a little bit different from the previous regime with Coach Sabin. And so yeah, been a lot of information for the players to take in, but we'll be very fluid in how we play. It won't be one set structure. It won't be, football doesn't work that way. We have to be adaptable.
Yes, coach. Yes, coach. I am eager, waiting, very, very eager, waiting to see how we play. Because first of all, I've been hearing some good things about the training. I know you have a background in coaching, all right, and what you will bring to the team. So I am very eager for looking at a better performance. We can lose, but I like our team to be competitive. I want to see our players streaming passes, falling back, nice crosses, challenging. That I want to see more, control of the game.
Yeah,
right?
I think
so I'm eager, waiting to see a good performance.
You definitely get that, and I mean Troy can testify after I've spoken, but I think that's definitely what you'll get tomorrow. And football's a results-driven game, and people will look at the result. But I think regardless of what happened and what the outcome is tomorrow, the objective for me is to put a team on the field that the Dominicans can be proud of and resonate with, right? And for me, we've got some incredibly gifted players. We've got some incredibly talented individuals, and we have to give them that freedom to go and play with the passion that they have for the game, right? So I think regardless of the outcome tomorrow, because you can never predict what happens in football, I think regardless of that, I think you should and you will, I'm certain you will, get a team that you can all be very, very proud of. And I think Troy next to me can testify for that in how we've trained.
Well, let's hear from Troy.
Yes, Troy, tell us
yeah.
how you feeling, and as you go into tomorrow.
Honestly, he has spoken about everything. I only can testify for him and tell him that it's really true. The team is in very good spirit. Even if we're coming up against a tough opponent, the type of vibes that we have in the camp is like we are so happy that we know we can go tomorrow and get 3 points. Even on the next game, we can get 6 points from these 2 games. That's the type of energy that we have in the camp. And I'm here to testify for him. I don't need to lie about it, but it's honestly true.
Well, Troy, obviously you have been one of the guys scoring goals for Dominican in the last few games, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully tomorrow we should see a couple goals from you, right? Tomorrow.
For sure. That's the main reason I'm here.
Sebastian.
Yes, Lobby.
You make me laugh. You use the word couple goals in a couple.
Yeah, why not? Why you have to think big, Lobby, when you play in sport?
I think big. So, coach, is it my knowledge? Are you going to play 3-5-2 tomorrow?
Like I said, the structure will be pretty fluid. Sometimes you might see that. Sometimes you might see 4. Sometimes you might see 5. We'll be really fluid in how we play.
So are you going to start the game, the 11 with 3-5-2? Then you're going to change based on this,
We go. You working for Guyana, Louis?
Are
you on Guyana's payroll just now?
No, I want to. If because you said things gonna change. I want to know if you're going to start, and then when you observe how the team is playing, you might just change around. So you're gonna start
of course, we'll change around. Like I said, the game will be fluid. After the game, we can sit down and we can talk about systems and structures. Before the game, we'll keep things in house at the minute.
Because I was very happy getting feedback from players that I know you. You as a former coach, having played in Europe, you brought a high level of fitness, which is my forte. All right, I'm very happy that you brought it home, because the game is 90+ minutes, and you have to prepare. If you want to win, you have to. Football the field is big. You have to run. you got to support. And I agree.
Yes, and coach, also just before you respond to that, also, in terms of the two teams, Dominica, the Dominican Republic, Dominica is ranked some 40 places below the Dominican Republic. And I'm wondering how mentally, how do you prepare? Because it seems that it's almost like you're going up against a team that is way, in terms of the ranking, at least way above Dominica. How do you prepare the athletes for that? How do you prepare the players for that?
So tomorrow we'll face Guyana, and Guyana still take 30 places on us in the world rankings. I think that the message that I've given to the players and to the man sitting beside me that'll win us the game tomorrow, and I think the message is clear. I think if the best football team on the field, we have to admit that technically we can't match some of the players they have. We can't. We have to be honest about that. But if football was won by the best technical team, nobody would fill the stands every week because we know the outcome of the game. Football's won on passion, grit, determination, structure, and organisation. I believe we've got that more so than anybody else. Yes, they can pass and receive a ball better than us. There's no point shying away from it. I think, we're giving up 30 places in the world rankings. We have to be realistic. It's going to be a tough game. But these guys are, as Troy touched on there, the mood in the camp's great. These guys are really up for it. The message to them is that, the best team on the field technically isn't always the one that wins.
Yes, and the game is played on the field. No matter what ranking, what a person hide on you, everybody, when it starts, everybody starts at zero. It's how you play the game at the end.
Correct. And like I say, when you've got guys like this man sitting next to me who I know can turn the game on its head within seconds, I've got firm belief in these guys. I know that if we get the ball into this man here and a couple others that we have, I know that he'll make the difference.
Coach, let me ask you. You have a couple overseas players you have just brought up. Tell us about them, please. The overseas players.
Yes, well, obviously one of them here is next to me, playing in Antigua at the minute, and he's been played in DR previously, played in Europe. So Troy's one of those, and we know what we get with Troy. We get a guy who'll score us goals. He'll challenge the back line. He's a fantastic player, and he's a fantastic person as well, which is why we brought him into the camp. The same goes for Titus, coming in from Orlando. To me, it's a little bit surprising that he's one that's been overlooked all through the process with the 17s, the 20s, and the senior team for so many years. But a centre back, which we really needed, and maybe Troy can talk more on the player, but again, a fantastic human being and one that I think is going to excite everybody. Nick Harv, we know what we get with Nick. I think Nick was the most fouled player in the U20 qualifiers. Nick is a very similar type of player to Troy and Odell Laville. I think Nick is very similar in that sense. He's a young kid. He's 19. He can learn from these guys. I think with those guys coming in, it's an incredibly bright future, and these guys are incredibly gifted. And even just around the hotel, again, seeing their behaviour, seeing their habits, seeing how they eat, how they sleep, how they recover, it's fantastic for the boys around to see that and to learn from that.
What is your philosophy behind the two captains?
Yeah, well, internally, it was a little bit. It was a decision that I had to make. You've got the obvious choices, but I felt Odell has showed an incredible maturity, and I really mean that. Odell has showed an incredible maturity, and for me, he's somebody I know I can lean my hat on. I know he's somebody that the younger ones look up to. I know that he's somebody who commands the respect of that changing room. And Javid George leads. Maybe not in terms of, and they both have very different skills as captains. Where Odell is a little bit more, he can be outspoken and he can be a little bit more passionate. What we get from Javid is performances on the field. I can guarantee you, if Javid has a bad game, it's still a 7 out of 10. I know what I get from Javid George, and it's consistent performances, it's good performances, strong performances. I know I can hang my hat on that guy any day of the week, and that's why those two were chosen to lead us.
Coach, you've lost. Well, your main goalkeeper Burkhardt is no longer. He's injured, I believe. Are you confident that his replacement is good enough?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Everybody in the squad's good enough. It's an opportunity now for people to step up and make the jersey theirs. Okay, it's not just Burkhard. We're missing Coben Paul. We're missing Travis Joseph as well. There's more than just one player missing. And these younger ones that have stepped in, or these ones that were on the outside of the team, perhaps not quite getting into the 11, now have a chance to go and make the jersey theirs for the Nations League in September.
Coach, there's one thing that I observed with our teams before you took over as the coach. Our behavior, especially on corner kicks and spot kicks. All right, I think we have not been doing well at all. We don't defend properly. We don't, and teams have been too much a leeway during that time. So I'm hoping that, all these things will iron out if you come in there and if you're experienced.
Yeah, I think I said to the guys today that if you look at set piece goals now in football, set piece goals are through the roof in football. Set pieces are huge, but I can't really talk on what happened before, so I'll let Troy talk on possibly any differences or changes or anything that Troy's observed. It's not for me to talk on what happened before, so I'll let Troy touch on it from before.
Well, let him tell us.
It's totally different now. The coach come in a different type of style, the different type of how you want us to defend. So I from before to now we improve a lot. I can guarantee you that our defending set pieces are very good. Even scoring set pieces are good as well. So I can only talk from now. From before, it's way better.
Yeah, because I'm hearing you because I know during this time there's a lot of pushing, a lot of shoving. You have to be aggressive. I hope the players understand that. There'll be orders, directions. I tell players, what they have to do because goals doesn't mean goals scored easily. You have to talk and you have to mark. You have to be aggressive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I say, a lot of goals now are coming through set pieces, and it's something that you can't really neglect in the game. Especially, realistically, will we have the most of the possession in the game? Hopefully we do, but we may not. So we may have to rely on those opportunities to get the ball into the box.
Coach, let me ask you, the game is saying at 3 p.m. tomorrow. How is the weather out there? At that time, it could be really hot. Are the players really ready for playing football at that time in really hot weather?
Yeah, conditions are both teams got the same conditions.
I know that.
So we're okay. The guys are ready to do it. I think the last game where Troy scored was also a 3 p.m. kickoff against BVI. Is that right, Troy? Yeah. So I think the guys are well versed. The guys are well versed in that. We had a couple of days training before we left back home, up at Stock Farm, where we would train morning, afternoon, just to get the guys acclimatized a little bit. Today we trained at 2 p.m. again, just to acclimatize the boys a little bit. But hey, tomorrow the conditions will be the same for both teams, so you can never use that as an excuse.
Question there: Were you informed about the time? Were you aware about the game at 3 p.m.?
I mean, we deal with what we're given from CONCACAF, right? So I mean,
I know. So as a result,
so yes. we play 3 p.m. on Friday, but then we get a 6 p.m. kickoff on Monday. So offset.
Yeah, I know. So as long as you got that you depend at 3 p.m., your training had to vary in Dominica.
Sure. So we have 3 days rest.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Coach. Well, I know when I try to get in touch with you, I know you'll have other stuff to deal with, so we don't want to keep you too long. I know we had to advance in time so that you could go and deal with something else. So we want to wish you all the best. When you come home, I hope we can get you in studio to talk about what has happened. We're not sure if we'll be able to see the games. We don't know if we'll be able to see the games on tomorrow, on Monday. So we just want to wish the team, the entire team, the best, and I hope things work out for you guys. So thanks for joining. Thank you so much.
All the best.
thanks for having us. And I'm sure, like I say, this man next to me will score a few goals and make you all very proud. And hopefully that's what we can do as a team.
Yes, we're looking forward to that.
Right. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. So we're going to take a break now. And thank you so much.
Where in Roseau, Kimashabis, you can just walk in and order all your chicken parts, wholesale, and even enjoy retail. It's at AC Shillingford. All chicken parts available that you can afford. Fresh breast. And you know breast is the best. Shillingford wings have muscle. After you eat it, you can fly. As for Shillingford chicken drumsticks, even swinging stars just order drumsticks from Shillingford. And for those of you who love Risapul, AC Shillingford keeps your belly full. Buy your chicken wholesale at AC Shillingford. From wings to thighs to drums to breasts to backs to necks. It's available. It's always available and it's affordable. Plus, you've got pork feet, ham and turkey, bull foot, chicken nuggets, pepperoni, all those right seasonings to make your kitchen keep on ticking. Buy your wholesale chicken at AC Shillingford. When you think of chicken, think of AC Shillingford. Always ready.
The economic fabric Dominica revolves at AC Shillingford and Company. For timeless, trusted, dependable, comprehensive insurance coverage, it has to be New India Insurance. Need anything overseas? Shopbox Dominica and Isle of Freight is your advance on-time delivery right to your doorstep. For super savings on all your groceries, come to ACS Super Shopping Center for laundry, groceries, cooking, beverages, and event supplies on King Jonathan Street. ACS 7-Eleven on High Street, supplying your everyday essentials. Fill up your vehicle gas tanks, get your cooking gas, and top-ups of all kinds. Or go to 7-Eleven Portersville, where the best-kept secret is conveniently located upstairs in the confidential escape or staycation self-contained accommodations at the Porter's Place. AC Shillingford, where you spend less and get more.
When you want me there, what you do? Shop at SDA. Better than the rest. Go shop at SDA. And they all gone for say shop at SDA. You get more for what is there? Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Yeah, shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. What is there? Shop at SDA. Yes, family, customer friendly. With free locations, it's so convenient. And our price is there. That's where you belong. Oh, tell your mama, tell your papa, shop at SDA. Tell your son and your daughter, shop at SDA. Auntie, nene, and cousin, friend, open power, all of them. Grandma, grandpa, couple, neighbor, girlfriend, boyfriend, side. What? Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Shop at SDA. Check us out at Portersville, High Street, and downtown Rose. Looking for a quiet, relaxing place to stay? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Leaving the office late and need somewhere close to town? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Have business clients coming in and need accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Looking for group accommodation? Call Porter's Place Guest House. Located at 37 Goodwill Road in Portersville, upstairs ACS Supermarket. Enjoy our semi-self-contained rooms with private washroom, bathroom, Wi-Fi, air condition, cable network, mini refrigerator, all in a non-smoking environment. Call or WhatsApp at 1767-275-1899 or email us at info@portersplaceguesthouse.com to make your reservations. Porter's Place, your home away from home. Fit for a king, a queen, and all their royal subjects.
Some laundry detergents may miss the mark when it comes to adding softness to your loads. But fortunately, Dominica, we've got Ensueno fabric softener. Ensueno is the conditioner of laundry care, making your clothes feel butterfly soft. Discover Ensueno fabric softener. Long-lasting, nature-inspired fragrances protect your fabrics. Revitalize your laundry with the refreshing scent of spring fresh Ensueno fabric softener. Makes your clothes fluffy, alive, and vibrant. Love all over Dominica. Local agents, AC Shillingford Company. Available also markets your favorite friendly neighborhood outlet or shop. Use Ensueno.
Yes. So we're back, and now we move to another sport. Now we're going to be talking volleyball. And in the studio with us, we have the PRO of the Volleyball Association. The president should join soon, Mr. Sidney John. Good night, sir.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
All right. Volleyball has started. I think you all had a Bollarama last weekend?
Yes, we did. We had the opening Bollarama and ceremony on Sunday.
Right.
We had 6 men's teams and 5 women's teams come down to showcase their talent and, just to get the interest going for the league. Yeah.
Where? The massacre, right?
Yeah, so
I think Dr. Fountain said he saw part of it.
Yes,
and he was impressed.
Yeah, I was very much impressed, Sibo. And let me say congratulations to the Volleyball Association for getting the teams. I was impressed with the standard of play that I saw. And the teams, I was able to see the ladies play as well as the men. A couple of the men teams play against each other. And I thought it was really very impressive, and I certainly will be following a lot more closely. I plan to attend some more of the games,
But what we should be asking him, Steve, if teams were practicing, the mere fact that you say they look good, obviously they were training, right?
Yes. Most of the teams are training, they're active, and, we have players who are ready and eager to go for the league.
When does the league start, though?
So we plan to begin the league in the weekend immediately after Easter, so that would be the weekend of the
same weekend the cricket starts, regional cricket. It's like next weekend.
Yes, the weekend right after that. Yes. So that's when we're going to actually start the games.
So what format will the league tell us about?
We have 3 divisions. We have a women's division where there are 6 women's teams. We have 2 men's divisions. So we have Division 1 and Division 2. And there are 6 men's Division 1 teams 5 Division 1 teams. And 6 Division 2 teams. And they will be playing, each division will be playing a round robin format. So everybody will play each other. And then we have semi-finals, which is best of 3 for each division, and finals, best of 3 matches as well.
So the venue, are all matches going to be at Massac, or you going to go around the country and diversify, let different villages see some volleyball?
Yeah, so as you know, we have the Sunrise Sports Club from Marigot.
Right.
So we plan to have them play a good bit of their games up there in Marigot. We also have Club 1 that are based in St. Joseph, and so they will be playing some of the games in St. Joseph.
But where in Marigot they were playing? Is it that Leopard, that's what they're going to be playing?
No, that's the hardcourt in Wales, Marigot.
By the school, right?
By the school, yes.
That's what they're going to be playing.
Yes,
okay.
That's where volleyball is played and basketball in Marigot. So we have these 3 venues. There is the possibility that we will reach out to some communities that have not had volleyball anytime recently to see if we can use it as an outreach and to get the sport more visible in some other communities. So that's the plan we have going forward. Even though it's not done for the league, we do have plans of doing so outside of the formal league setup, to just get the sport more visible in the communities that don't traditionally have a club attached to them. So that's
and please include Grand Four, because Grand Four used to have such great talent and volleyball play. I've not seen much.
So recently we made a donation to a group of people in Grand Four. Some balls and I believe a net.
A net, okay.
So that they can start working on re-establishing a team in Grand Four.
Excellent.
So the Grand Four is in our mind.
Yes, that's good. I'm very happy to hear, because I know
when you have to work with Dr. Fountain,
yes,
to get the team.
And we have quite a few players from Grand Four who play for other clubs, for Celtics, I believe Omar Healy and Evelyn Lockhart. Yeah, so and they train for the national teams all the time.
Excellent.
We have people from up there. Yes.
But in terms of diversifying, how many teams outside of Roseau are playing in the volleyball?
So this season we have the Sunrise Sports Club. They have teams in all of the divisions. We have Sunrises in Marigot, as I said. We have Club 1, which is based in St. Joseph, but they are players from the entire West Coast on that team, from Portsmouth all the way to town. And so they have 4 teams actually. 2 teams in the men's division 2, the division 1 and women's division. And then we have the Breakers from Portsmouth. We have as well, coming back to the league after a while, the Kalinago Territory Tacklers. So they are returning to the league. So we have teams from different parts, but as I said, we want to reach out and try to get teams in other areas of the country.
But I know volleyball used to be played in Portsmouth at Benjamin's Park. What has happened to that?
At the moment, the court is not configured to be able to host volleyball games. That is a work in progress, and we are speaking and having dialogue with the relevant authorities to make that a possibility.
Strange though.
Yeah.
Very strange.
It'd be nice.
That a place where now you don't even have anything down there, so you wonder.
So in terms of the games, most of the games will be held in Massac, right?
Yes, so quite a few of them will be held in Massac, but we have games scheduled for.
And then you're playing during the week or just on weekends? How is it? What's
Most of the games will be on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
But we plan to have games in the week as well. Not as many as we would have on Saturday and Sunday because I mean people come from work and so on, so it's difficult to fit in a large number of games. But we do plan to host a few games in the week this season. Yes.
So which is the defending champ?
In
which team?
The women's division is DFS E-Zone Acers. In both men's division, it's Club One.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And they both. And then who won last week in terms of the Bollarama? Which team came on top?
Same team.
Club. Okay.
Acers won. I think that's maybe their 4th or 5th Bollarama title in a row.
Okay.
And Club One won the men for the 3rd time in a row. Yeah.
That's excellent.
Let me ask you though, did the clubs have, all of them have coaches?
Yes. We have coaches attached to each of the clubs, varying levels of qualification. One of the goals of the association, this current executive, is to build our technical capacity here. And so we are partnering with the relevant bodies to have more coaches trained and to elevate the level of the coaches that we already have. So yes, each club has a coach, but we can never be satisfied with the level of our coaches. We always try to make sure that everybody gets to an.
So that is mandatory that each team must have a coach?
It's not mandatory because what you'll find is that a lot of the clubs, the person who is coaching is also a player. So in the games, they might not serve as just a coach. But we do encourage that every club have a coach. So that is what we are working on, to make sure that there is an FIVB certified coach in every club.
But if there's someone on island who can train the coaches and get them certified, do you have people on island who can do that?
No. So, well, you have people who can teach the fundamentals of coaching.
Right,
and so on,
but to certify people?
No. So there is nobody in the Eastern Caribbean as far as I know. So usually when we have the coaching courses, we bring in people from the outside. Yeah. So when we have the beach volleyball coaches courses and the indoor coaches courses, we bring in people. The ECVA brings in people from the outside.
So you have you say in the Caribbean, there's nobody in the Caribbean who can certify people? Is that what you say?
The Eastern Caribbean, no, we bring in people.
But there's something wrong. I mean,
so it's a very high level. There are not many people in the world, as far as I know, who have that qualification. I believe you need to be at least a level 2 coach, FIVB level 2, and there are certain programs that they must follow before they can get there. But, it's again something that we would like to see come to play. So we look forward to that.
Because you all had a coach who was here he was based here for what, a year or something like that?
Yes, Brian Gavlas. He was assigned to the national teams and also running other programs in Dominica. Yeah. So he was here for about 6 months.
Right. Yes. So, but he was a certified coach from wherever he came from,
yes,
right?
He's from Canada and he's a certified coach. Although it was not an official FIVB coaching program, each team that he coached, he was assigned an assistant coach who he would then mold to go forward to then take up the responsibility of coaching the teams. So then now we see that we have the current head coach of the men's national teams, Itoma James, was one of those people. I was attached to him working with the children to get practice doing that. And we had, I think, Miss Anna Maria Pantley attached to him for the women. So there were people being trained by him to get up to scratch.
The sports division, the volleyball competition is finished now? They just finished the volleyball competition?
No, the finals, I think, is scheduled for Wednesday. And that's subject to correction based on different factors that might come into play. But we have on Wednesday in the girls division, ITSS and the college playing against each other. And in the boys division, we have ITSS and Academics School of Learning playing against each other. So you should hear more from the sports division in the coming days.
Well, the president has just arrived. I guess he want to chime in. He just arrived. Your president, I've just come in. Mr. President, I hope you're not breathless. You walk up these stairs, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, your PR road, filling in nicely. Were you satisfied with what you saw last weekend then?
Yes, I am very encouraged. First of all, by the amount of teams, and then by the quality of play that I've seen so far. So
well, Dr. Fontaine was just saying how he was very impressed with what he saw. But, I was just asking him about the sports division. Now, are all the students who are playing in the sports division competition taking part in the National League?
No, not all.
Or most of them, are they in clubs?
Especially those from the West Coast. So his club took a lot of the young guys, and then some of the female teams around the city, they fill it into some of the teams around. For instance, I have one of the young ladies on my team. I think there's some on R&D, I think. Yes. So they're starting to filter into teams.
But are you satisfied that volleyball in Dominica is taking off? Are you satisfied?
Oh, yes. I think volleyball in Dominica is on the rise. Yeah. Considering our results last year, we had some pretty encouraging results last year when we won the Under-23 tournament undefeated. Our men's team went out in the Final Four. We had a good performance as well. So this year we have some competitions coming up. We have a beach competition. That's the first one for this season. That's in St. Lucia in April.
When is that?
It's the first weekend in April.
Is that OECS thing?
Yes, it is.
So do you have the same athletes from last year? Because I remember they did two gentlemen who came in there. Are they still competing? Or
unfortunately, one went off to school.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have one still. So we're
Okay.
trying to match him up with one of our better players. I think he's going to be matched up with Ian, I think. Right.
Okay.
And then we have two indoor competitions coming up this year, two senior, male and female. Our senior women team have not been in action for some years now. So this year there's a competition for them. So we're trying to get them back into competition. We should have a pretty good team based on what I see. And we have a lot of talent in the female coming up now.
But when are we going to see a regional tournament taking place in Dominica?
Well, there was one in 2023. We hosted the Under-23 female tournament. And we've been looking to host another. So as long as we get the sponsors, we can.
You just said that the ladies haven't played tournament for a while. What's the reason for that?
Well, last year there wasn't a senior tournament. It's every other year. And the year before that, when there was, we were not able to take part. I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what was the reason, but we were not able to take part, so we missed out. So that's like 4 years.
4 years? Wow, it's a long time. I mean, you're playing locally, you want to look forward to something. I mean, in every sport you play, you want to know when the season done, you're going to travel to play again. That's the only way you're going to improve,
That's true.
playing against different opponents.
That's why we want to give them some priority this year, get them back in action.
And in terms of the national competition, what are you looking forward to in that line? This year?
I want us the league to run to successfully.
Sorry, no, I'm talking about the league running, but I'm talking about like representing Dominica on a competition for the national team. That's what I'm referring to.
You mean individuals competing for place on the national team?
No, I'm talking about what do we have planned for the year in terms of Dominica competing in international competitions?
Oh, well, as I was saying, we have those two OECS competitions.
Yeah.
And then we have the beach. I think we may have the U23 as well, no?
No under 23 this year?
U23 this year.
Okay.
Right. But
who Dominica qualified?
Yeah.
So when will that be?
That's supposed to be in August, I think.
First week in September.
In September, they move into September.
The under-23 team?
Yeah, we were waiting for some information on that. It's going to be quite a lot to get that team there. So it's
you mean to take part? It will be costly.
The competition is where?
It was supposed to be in Canada.
Okay.
But they moved. It's changed now.
To where? Where they have?
They haven't given us any.
Oh wow.
That's not out yet.
Well, it'll be sad if the young boys cannot really go and display their skills somewhere. I mean, they would. Obviously, I'm sure they're looking forward to that, right?
Yeah. And let's to get them further afield.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you get to play stronger opposition and so on, and it will really put them to the test.
And it's a good incentive for them as well.
Mhm.
Certainly a good incentive.
Well, guys, it was nice of you guys. I mean, don't be afraid to always contact us. Come here anytime on a Thursday. We're here every Thursday, 6 to 8. And come and let us know what's happening. Just let listeners know again, when does the league start?
Yeah, so the league starts the weekend immediately after Easter.
So that's weekend after next.
So that's the weekend after next.
And where the matches going to be playing?
So matches will be played in Massac, in Marigot, and in St. Joseph.
So the first game is in Massac. What time?
Well, that is left to be determined.
Oh, you've not set the
schedule will be out.
Okay.
We're just trying to finalize some logistical constraints so that we know when and where we have the games. But for sure, we'll be using those 3 venues. And as I said, we are open to the possibility of hosting games in other places, provided that the facilities are up to standard.
Okay.
So we expect to begin games on the 11th of April.
Mhm.
That's a Saturday.
Mhm.
And most of the games will be played on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
And let listeners know how many zones you have again, how many divisions?
So we have 3 divisions,
Right.
two men's divisions. The
Mhm.
men's division 1 has 5 teams.
Mhm.
Men's division 2 has 6 teams.
Mhm.
And we have a women's division with 6 teams as well.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's encourage the Dominican patrons come
Yeah.
out and support volleyball. Volleyball is on the rise. Come out, support the young people. And great stuff. Saturday, certainly.
But before we leave, I would just like to say a big thank you to our sponsors.
Go ahead, right ahead.
Without them, it would not have been possible.
Mhm.
So KFC is our major sponsor, and we want to say thank you. Thank you to KFC. We also have to say thank you to Flo, who came on board as well, and Paul's Carnival Band. Give us help us.
Which Carnival Band?
Paul's.
Oh, okay.
Oh, excellent. All
right, thanks, man.
That's great. Sponsorships critical.
Well, without sponsorship, you can have sports.
So big up to the sponsors. Indeed.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, man. Thank you. Right.
All
Louis, you saw the game today, football, Brazil and France?
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks. You saw the game, Brazil and France?
No, I didn't see the game today.
I saw up to the 15 minutes in the second half. I saw up to that. I see Brazil now. You see a number of new
It
players.
was a friendly
game, yeah.
France won, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Mbappe scored, I think.
I saw the first goal he scored. Yeah, I saw the first goal he scored. But when you look at the Brazilian team now compared to the days, you see completely different thing.
No, is it that other countries are just catching up or they're falling back?
Well, I think they're falling back. I mean, the skill on the ball is evident. You still see the skill on the ball with the Brazilians. But when you compare what obtained then, I mean, you look at the Pelés, the Revelino, the Jairzinho, Tostão, then you had Zico and Socrates and all these guys. I mean, Ronaldo, Rivaldo. Completely different, eh?
So you're saying guys like Jesus and others cannot step up?
Jesus? Well, I know Jesus not even in the team. The one who plays for Arsenal. No. In fact, I saw a guy today, what's his name?
William.
He plays, Enrique. He plays in Russia. He looked good, man. He came on as substitute in the after halftime, and he looked good playing on the right side, but he's more left footer playing on the right side. Yeah, he looked good.
Sibo.
Yeah, Lobby.
Yes. I know that the number of players, they are playing next week, Wednesday or Thursday with Croatia.
In Brasilia, in the state. You're going to watch it, by the way?
Yes.
What are they playing?
That's it. If I'm going now, I'm saying go in to watch.
Well, the match today was in Boston. I know Vivian Rene was trying to get tickets to go there. I'm not sure. I'll speak to him later. I'm not sure if he saw the game.
Sibo, all this turbulence taking place right here. I just staying home and watch football. Those are serious things, Sebastian. Now, let me tell you, a number of there's some you're talking about Dr. Funk. You're saying about team catching up. Not a matter of team catching up. As you can see right now, what has happened over the years with FIFA have done, Sebastian. They have invested in a lot of youth programs. Youth programs. Besides Brazil, you look at Europe in particular. If you look at the European teams now, nobody can take anybody lightly right now.
That's true. By the way, you know Jamaica playing tonight, 11 o'clock.
I know. Sibo,
they're playing 11 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, and Sibo, and secondly, Sebastian, what has happened, you find that a lot of players, the teams, for example, they have guys playing in top leagues overseas. All right, that has helped a lot. Now you find that what happened to Brazil now? Brazil, a lot of that's why they brought in a foreign coach to stabilize, the Brazil, and they have a lot of politics in their football. That happened to them over the years.
Well, you know, there's a lot of talk about Neymar. A lot of the former players are saying that Neymar should be in the squad. A lot of saw Romario making a statement saying that Neymar should be back in the team.
Yeah, because he was called up again. I think you should.
Well, he's not in that squad.
No, but next week. Next week.
You sure?
Yeah. He was called up for prep because he played for Flamengo in the league. All right.
You sure it's Flamengo he played for Santos? Let's take this caller. 1 minute, Lobby. Good evening.
Hello, Sibo, I want to ask you a question before I close your program.
Yeah.
I don't know if I heard properly. As I hear clipping about something about Bravo and captain for West Indies, something like that.
Not captain. He was saying apparently they asked him to be part of the coaching staff for the World Cup. And he was saying that he felt it was too late and they were bringing him up to fail and he turned it down. That's what he said. That's what Bravo said. That's why he didn't accept it. He said the director of cricket. Yeah, you heard probably the director of cricket asked him if he. Well, it's something I can always find out. By the way, we will have the West Indies coach with us next week. Darren Summey should be on with us next week. So we'll talk about the World Cup and everything. Thanks, caller. What's that, Lobby?
When he comes on, I don't want to be part of that at all.
Why not? Why not?
That's stupid, Sebastian.
But he's the coach. He's the West Indies coach.
Listen to me, Sebastian. To me, it's just a recurring decimal.
No, but we have to find out how are we going to get information if you don't ask?
As you can see, you have said already that's a boys' club. There'll be no change.
Well, I'm glad you said it because you were asking for the President Cricket Association.
No, but obviously you having all presidents of local associations, and he was missing in action.
But he didn't answer your question, did he?
Well, Sibo, but obviously some people do not answer. People try to duck, There's certain things, and we all know it's a boys' club that's there. All right, the boys' club until that is unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, the way the president has been selected. All right, and he cannot be moved this way, which all right, it has to be among themselves. That's the problem we have.
Right? No, it doesn't mean they cannot bring somebody from outside. You can bring somebody from outside, but very rare that happens.
Thank you.
By the way, hold on. We're trying to get in touch with Godwin Dossett about, but we're not getting him because the Athletic finished tonight, today. Yeah. I spoke to him before. I told him we'll be calling on him to get the results and what happened, but we can't find him. As we say, guys, the IPL starts Saturday. By the way, I don't know if you all saw that. Jaden Seals was supposed to have been playing for Sussex, and the West Indies board turned it down. By the way, they didn't give him the NOC. The NOC, they turned it down.
Why?
Well, I just saw a statement from the DOC saying they're trying to protect Azari Joseph, but what I do not understand, you turn down Jaden Seals, but Azari Joseph is given an NOC to go and play in Pakistan, the Pakistan Super League. I don't understand that one. Yeah, he's going, and he was the person that was. Hey, let's take this caller. 1 minute. Good evening.
Yes, sir. But back to the football briefly.
Right.
Dr. Funkin was asking what happened if the clubs are catching up with Brazil. And what I noticed presently is that Brazil more or less dependent on one superstar at the front. Whereas in the past, you all can help me with the names, whereas in the past you have two guys, I can remember Roberto and Romario, Pele and his partner. And you all, even our local football when used to have Ovin and Benoit and Fox and Rojo and Abu and so on. But now you find they depending on Neymar or somebody else. Whereas in the past you had Zico and somebody else, and the fellas would confuse you. Sometimes you see Ronaldo going to shoot, and at the last moment he passes it to his partner and thing. And I believe that is what is lacking with Brazil presently.
Yeah. Well, I'm just getting a note where he said that the coach has said that unless Neymar is fully fit, he will not select him. That's what he's saying. Unless he's fully fit, he will not select him. We have another caller. Good evening.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
That's Godwin.
Oh, okay, Godwin. Yeah, nice. You should call us. We know the secondary school competition. It finished tonight, right?
Oh well, we had a wonderful 2 days of competition, and yes, we ended late tonight. So I am still on the road trying to get home.
Oh.
But what I can tell you, we had 14 records broken in the day's competition. All right, coming from various schools. So I can give you just an idea of this.
Yeah, do that. We have a few minutes before we close here. Go ahead, tell us.
Yes, in the under 14 girls 100 meter, we had a new record there done by Fidela Victor of the PSS, the Portsmouth Secondary School. Daniel Thomas of the Northeast Comprehensive was outstanding. He ran 5 races, got 5 goals, and he broke 4 records, where he also had a double record in 400 meters, Eastern final. Keone Esprit of the Goodwill Secondary School broke the 200 meters and the 400 meter record, and that was in the under 17 boys. Daniel is the under 15 boys. Joel Lewis of the Dominica State College had the most important performance with the long jump record in a wonderful time of 6 meters, a wonderful distance, 6 meters 98, and that was the individual best performance of the day. Jamaica Kid did a personal best and school's record in the discus for the under 21 boys. Kuma John Baptist of the Portsmouth Secondary School also broke record in the under 21 boys. That was in the triple jump. And I must tell you that Jamaica Kid attends the Academic School of Learning. In the 4x100 meter relay, the under 15 girls for the Portsmouth Secondary School, also in the 4x100 meter under 21 boys, Portsmouth Secondary School, and the next one would go to the Goodwill Secondary School in the 4x4 under open, the 4x4 open boys. Okay, so it was a record galore this year for the secondary schools athletics championship.
Well, let me ask you, Godwin, which school won the championship?
Yes, coming up top was the the Portsmouth Secondary School was the top school. They won both boys and girls.
Okay.
Okay, they repeated the boys and they took away the girls from the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School. So they were the top. The second place school was the Dominica Grammar School. All right, so these were the top 2 schools in the day's activity.
Was there good crowd participation, Godwin, at the meet yesterday and today?
All right, didn't hear you too clearly, but
okay. I was asking in terms of crowd participation. Were there plenty of people watching the 2 days of the athletics?
Okay, well, on the second day, yes, we always get a wonderful crowd, and that we have a problem in getting people off the track and so forth. But we are still disappointed in terms of the local support and the support for the children. You know, during these days, I believe more people should come out and support our track and field, that which takes our athletes all around the world, bringing gold for us in the Olympic Games.
Well, let me ask you, so the Portsmouth Secondary School, were they not well represented there? The students, no? Didn't they come?
What is that?
The Portsmouth Secondary School, the meet was right in Portsmouth. You just said that they won. Didn't they have a big student population on the ground?
Well, I can tell you that in terms of school support, only the main time is only the athletes that are participating comes out.
So nobody else was there? You mean the school? Nobody else? Wow.
If that is normal in Dominica, the school should come out. They don't stop their state education to come out and support sports. You know, these are some of the things that happen in the other country. Why don't private students fighting running away from us? Because they really come out and support their children. But we have to look into it and do whether we keep it at that time and to try to look at a time when we can find more people to come out and really give greater support to the children.
Well, I've been speaking about that, already. I've been speaking about that. They have to find a way to do something. Earlier tonight, when we spoke about what happened in Grenada, where the school won, and it was like a carnival in Grenada. A school won the championship at Intercol, they call it, and it was massive. The jab, people, all sorts of things in the street of St. Andrews. So we were saying here, there's a problem here, and they must find a way to get more participation because nobody comes to watch when the students, even the students themselves.
Yes, definitely we do. And where you see people really going forward in the sport, in the doing very well, they have the nation support totally. And when school is on and athletics is going on, you want your children then to be coming behind them, and you want them out there shouting and screaming so that they can do greater things.
Right.
But it was a wonderful day, and I want to give thanks to all the people who assisted and make this day such splendid day for us. We ended very late, and we did not even finish giving up all the medals,
right?
And everything is the final as for the results.
Okay.
But it was a splendid day in terms of performance.
Okay. Well, thank you, Godwin. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving us the information. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Right. Right. Lobby, you hear it again about participation. You hear it again, right? Not me that's saying that. You heard him, right?
Sebastian, when you talk about participation, Sebastian, you mentioned Grenada. Grenada, what you saw there is nothing new, That had been happening for years.
No, but that's the first time they had like a carnival like that.
Well, no, because listen to me. Sebastian, I've been in Grenada and the school because it happened that the team who won, probably for the first time, they won a competition. But that is how that goes on in Grenada.
Right. So what I am saying, we must find a way here to get that sort of thing. To me,
I said already, your school, grammar school had it. Grammar school had their sports on a Sunday. Look, they have taken away. You haven't, they have taken.
What I'm saying, maybe the secondary school athletics competition. Well, that's what I'm saying. To me, it's like something like people go there just to say they have it. That's what I'm saying.
No, but yes, I make you understand. You have never, your school, grammar school. We see what they have done. See what they have done in Roseau. Windsor Park was available. We had Windsor Park. Sports have been paralyzed. There's nothing happening and then paralyzing this. How we say it? What do you expect to do?
Anyway, we have to come to an end now because it is 8 o'clock. So next week, as I say, we should have the West Indies coach with us. We'll hear what happened in the World Cup and plans for the new season. Even in Dominica, almost in April, we don't know when cricket started.
April. Oh, Dominica.
In Dominica, we don't know when cricket started. Nobody, when we grew up, Lobby, Dr. Fouquet, league was going on from January. You had that in the garden, all about the place. But now you don't even know when the cricket started. Let's get this last caller before we close. Let's hear it. Good evening. Yes.
After the athletic meet.
Sorry.
Yeah, put up your radio. You give us a feedback.
Yeah, okay. I think I could come to explain my own self.
Go ahead.
You hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
After the athletic meet in the 50s, with them young children there, we have our own athletic meet in the Windsor Park, You have to tell that. After this general thing finished, well, the rest of the week, we take our own sports as youth man. That is how it was in the 50s.
Yeah. All right. Guys, Mr. Ron Green is saying it's unacceptable that the whole secondary school is not fully present. The Ministry of Education should see to that. That's what Ron Green is.
From a former education
and a former Minister of Education, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You have the time.
Right. Well, no, quickly, because we have to close down. Huh?
The president was there, you know. Did they lamb on that? The president and them, you know. That what happened in the schools. That is what has happened in Sebastian. But the schools, there must be a holiday. You have to start doing that. You have to build pride. All right. In those days, you had people, you know, you had followers. All right? This has to happen.
Okay, maybe we have to close now. There's another program, Workers' Voice, coming. So on behalf of Emmanuel LeBlanc, Dr. Fontaine, we want to say good night. We'll be back next week. Good evening, everybody.